now.
All right.
Wait. Copy. Oh, hold up.
Huh?
Okay, it is public. All
Okay.
right.
All right, opening up on my
We are
tablet.
good.
Do the sound test for you. All right, opening up.
Okay, how's the sound?
If my tablet will cooperate.
Wait. Boop.
And live channels. Butterfly.
No. That one tune, despite being ear piercing, if it weren't so ear piercing, it does get stuck in the head.
Okay.
So sometimes I'll just become.
Yeah. All right, we have a live stream loading up.
Doot.
All right, we have. Oh, okay. Had a little bit of. I can hear myself.
Yay.
Okay, and there's your voice too. Okay, good.
Alright. We are good. We are live. Hello, people.
Your. Hello, people.
Beautiful,
Oh,
beautiful
here you see
people.
Henchy
Go,
doing his shrug. Yeah.
I'm resizing things, so please excuse if things look weird. They will look weird, but it's okay. What I will do is drag my little BRB thing in the background. Now we have ambience.
Ooh. Fancy.
And it slowly creeps in further on, so there's that. I'm pretty much just zooming it in so I can see chat while doing this, because
Yeah. Adding the link code.
oh darn it.
So we were just talking. So we have the skeleton in place for the. Well, not really. To call it a skeleton, we have a stick figure to sort of demonstrate the timing and speed of the shrug animation we're going for there. So all that's left is for a butterfly to fill in the body. Oh yes, sharing on the Discord as well. Custom status.
Maybe probably wouldn't be bad doing a vector layer just so I can edit if for the lines.
Yeah. If you want to learn vector animation,
Or at the very
or
least, I could edit the lines if it's just a little.
oh yeah,
Edibly so.
yes,
Edit,
editably.
That word.
It's not an easy word to say.
Yeah.
When I was first learning 3D, it was before Blender 3D. It was in, I think it was 3ds Max. What was it? There were two companies. There were two big 3D animation companies. One was 3ds Max, and the other was something else. And I think it might have been the something else. But yeah, the person teaching me how to create a primitive and then go into edit mode and mush it around to the shape that I wanted. She kept calling it an edible mesh.
Nom 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 nom.
Yeah. and I just, my mind just clung to that word, edible mesh. Even though it was like she was saying convert it to an editable mesh, but she wasn't saying editable. She was saying edible.
That looks about right. I think. Yeah. Yeah. Boop. He just refuses to get another suit, too.
Yeah. He just washes himself and the suit all in one go.
Yeah. Oh, idea. Recreate that scene with the washing
Yeah.
machine, but instead Henchy's in the washing
Yeah,
machine.
yeah.
It's a stand-up one, of course.
Yeah. I'm just thinking like yeah, it's outside with the washing machine and he looks over and you see the whole water park or something.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. I just realized his hands are kind of large for his body. Might need to redo that one. That first one.
Yeah.
It's alright.
I guess let's see. If I stand up here, my hands go about I want to say one half, no, almost all the way down to the knees.
Yeah.
Oh,
Almost.
like with the fingers extended, yeah. With the fingers extended, it's about a fist's
But
length away from the
I
knee.
feel like with the... I'll shorten the arms on the first image.
Okay.
I think that's all I need to really do is shorten the arm length.
Hmm.
Because I think...
Yeah, vectors can be a pretty big help in in maintaining consistent lengths and stuff, provided the program that you're using the vectors in will display the lengths.
Mm-hmm. And I think what I'm going to do to kind of, as a shortcut, is mirror the image.
Mhm. Yeah.
Mirror what isn't symmetry. Well, symmetric. Ugh.
Mhm.
I can't. English, right. I know what I'm talking about. My brain is just my brain. It doesn't communicate right some days.
Having a pink moment.
Having a pink moment. A pinky pink moment.
at least, at least you don't have a case of the beeps.
Yep, not this time. Not this time at all. Horizontal. Just like magic, we have a symmetrical, semi-symmetrical body. Maybe with...
So this doesn't have a mirror modifier.
You have to kind of do a flip horizontal.
Okay. Yeah.
That doesn't
I was
work.
thinking there might have been a feature like either GIMP or Blender where there's a mirror modifier, so whatever you draw on one side just automatically gets flipped and flipped to the other.
Yeah, that's not going to work.
Mm.
Some of this does not work. Some
Yeah.
does not.
Unless you want him to have like the ultimate thigh gap.
Like some bow-legged thing
Yeah.
going on. He trains horses in his spare time.
Yeah.
I mean, mean, we don't know what Hinchy does in his spare time. For all we know, he's in his attic eating cereal.
Yeah, with chopsticks.
Yeah, with chopsticks, for sure.
He'll be a poster child of the eating messy snacks with chopsticks movement,
Yep.
or eating dusty snacks with chopsticks movement.
Like, you see the trends with girl dinners or whatever they call them. And it's
Girl
like,
dinners? That I'm not
it's
familiar with.
basically snacking.
Oh,
I'm sorry, Hinchy would be the poster child. It's like, girl dinners, huh? Amateurs. I've been doing this since I was 5. I don't like how that arm looks. I don't like how that arm looks. Not at all. What gives? Ah, crud. Don't mix your layers, folks. Then you have situations like this.
hmm Even when animating on Pencil 2D, I get so many layers and they get so difficult to manage that what I do is I have to export the image as like an animated GIF and then re-import that animated GIF as a single layer so that I can work with the layer above and below. It's
Oh my goodness. That's not good.
yeah. I really hope Pencil 2D gets something like layer groups sometime so it'll be easier to organize them.
Yeah. I really wish Blender's animation would be a valid option for me right now.
Oh yeah, Blender's Grease Pencil. I hear like I want to get into it. I probably ought to try it because yeah, it's difficult to find a good vector solution outside of Synfig Studio.
Mm-hmm.
Pencil is working on a vector feature, a vector layer feature, but they don't have automatic in betweening. And OpenToon supposedly has a vector good vector thing, but you have to learn a lot of it just to get around to working with the vectors.
Mm-hmm.
Well, working with the vectors and not letting them look like Flash animation. So this is the guy that's doing most of the hard work for Byron and Selma, whichever you pick.
Right. I think this works between the two. What do you think? Do you think... I'm debating on whether I need to redo the upper arms here. Well,
The
maybe
upper
because
arms?
it's more slumped, maybe not.
Yeah, I think it's pretty okay as is. Okay, I can't really see any glaring flaws. Yeah, the hands go about down to the knees, which is perfect.
Honestly, I need to take this. Where is that question mark layer? Oh gosh darn it, it's in with lines. So what I'm gonna do, gonna lasso this. Control C, Control S.
Yes, can't forget the Control S.
The all important Control S.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, there is a. Why is there an outer line here? Right here.
Huh.
That's not right. That's not right at all.
A stray scribble.
How dare it stray scribble away?
I know that in earlier versions of Pencil 2D, the auto save would be set to I think every 15 changes,
Hmm.
So if that 15th change, when I first downloaded Pencil 2D, and if that 15th change was a pen stroke,
Hmm.
then the pen would suddenly zoom up to the upper left and leave like a gigantic streak on the page, and then it would save it. So then I would have to undo and then save again.
It's like, gee, thanks, program. Just what I always wanted.
Like it's good that it saved 14 good changes. It's just that 15th one I have to undo and save over.
Okay, I found the problem. I solved the problem.
Yay. How many layers are there in this image?
There are a bunch, but I've got folders here. I've got a folder
Yes.
for Shrug, which is just 3 frames right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm trying to make sure that it won't get too confusing.
Mm-hmm. I like that the question mark is going to turn even more than he turns his head.
Mm-hmm. And what we're gonna do is do another thing. For reference, we're gonna put that all the way up top.
Oh, you know what Henji kind of reminds me of?
Hmm.
Hexadecimal.
Hmm?
Oh, you haven't seen Reboot, have you?
Oh yeah, I haven't really, but like the closest I've seen is adverts on Toonami.
Hexadecimal is a villain who you never see her face move. She's
Hmm.
constantly swapping out masks. Anytime her hand goes in front of her face, her mask changes. Or if part of the foreground goes in front of her face, her mask changes.
Hmm. Interesting.
And at least for the first little while, you never really you never see what's behind the mask. It's just mask changes or things going in front of her face to change the mask.
Hmm.
I think there is some point where Bob like defragments her face, so she actually starts talking and having facial expressions. But yeah, that doesn't happen for like a couple of seasons, I think.
Hmm.
But yeah, and she could have a bit of that hexadecimal appeal there, and that all you see is the mask change.
Yep. Like if you were to see him in real life, they'd be like, "Who are you? What do you mean? We had brunch 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
You don't remember me?"
and to most anyone else, he just looks like a normal person.
Hmm. Or people just don't address the whole
Yeah.
mask
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, yeah. Like, yeah, it looks totally normal, like whether they see a person with a mask or a person.
Hmm.
I kind of figure he'd be like, um, not exactly a stage invisibility suit, but like the person with the terrible disguise that nobody addresses as being a terrible disguise. Like, yeah, that one Pokemon gag where Jesse and James have these like they have the stage dark suits on, but everyone can see them anyway. They just pretend to they just pretend they can't.
Okay. Going to hold on. Making sure I don't. Just making sure the save thing doesn't.
Hmm.
Because the last thing I want to be is streaming my file paths. Because
Hmm.
that would be a bottle fun. Hi everyone, I organize my stuff like a pig in my computer. Good luck trying to find anything. I certainly can't.
I've started like in the Nautilus File Manager, when you start typing a file name, it looks for that file in the current and nested directories. And when I went back to Windows, when I booted up in Windows, I had to get used to not having that feature anymore. So now I have to actually remember where a file is and then open it there.
I mean, on the plus side now, at least you have the option of searching rather than going through file paths
Yeah.
like how it used to be.
Oh, give me a sec. I totally forgot to get some water.
Oh no! Hydrate, y'all! it going. Anyway,
Hello, Anand.
hey.
I think I had my speakers on there. Yeah, you joined just as I went to get some water.
Yep.
I have my dessert drink here, my sip and drink, and I'm like, where's my water? I have to take a big gulp of water to take a small sip of my drink.
Oops.
But yeah, I hope you're doing well.
Yeah. I'm playing with vectors.
Hmm.
Like, maybe I should add a little bit more.
Does it let you simplify the vectors? You can
Uh,
get smoother curves that way.
Probably. There's probably a setting in there.
Yeah, because I think the curve for the top of the head ought to be just maybe 3 Bezier handles. May even be able to get it down to 2, just the ones at the edge. Crazy day, but doing well. That's good to hear.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about tell us a little bit about it if you got some stories to tell.
Yeah.
No better time to start learning about vectors.
Yeah.
And of course, the thing I keep telling you to remind your viewers to do, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button.
Yeah. I need to work on doing more streams too. Thinking maybe doing some Super Smash Brothers Melee. That might be something fun.
Yeah. Like just the subspace emissary, perhaps?
Um, yeah.
Or like in multiplayer.
Could do multiplayer or could just do the main thing. I do want to see what version it is because I need to find my main memory card because the memory card that I have isn't the one that has the Smash Brothers data on it.
Yeah, it's the same for me. I have two of the starting memory cards
Mm-hmm.
and 2 of the middle memory cards and then 2 of the high capacity memory cards.
I
And they're
have
all like they all have at least 4 Phantasy Star Online characters on them.
nice.
What were you saying?
Like I have two of the normal, like regular
Mm-hmm.
memory cards, and then one. I think it's some sort of off-brand. Might be Mad Catz,
Oh yeah. I must have at least one of those too.
but
Was it the purple one with the dot in the middle?
it does not have a dot in it. But
Okay.
it's got high capacity compared to
Yeah.
you know. Either way,
Hmm.
it's some sort of knockoff high capacity.
All right. State campus got evacuated for about 25 minutes today. Fire alarms went off. 5+ fire trucks. Oh, so was it a real fire? Yeah, when every time I remember a fire alarm going off at the schools I've been to, it was always a false alarm.
Ooh,
Kids pulling the fire alarms to get out of school, get out of classes, or shorten the classes they're in, or whatever.
that
Because
or
yeah, we would
a fire
evacuate.
drill.
Yeah, we had fire drills too. Yeah, but those are usually planned.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure what exactly happened. Didn't see any particular smoke, but it did take time to get us back in. Okay. And there was a bit of an After Effects smoke smell. Ah, so it might have been that something they caught early on, like I don't know, maybe a chem lab experiment that got spilled or something. They probably. So I would guess that, yeah, my guess at the scenario would be someone spilled a thing, it caught fire, someone pulled a fire alarm, someone else put the thing out, and then the fire truck showed up, and they just made sure everything was safe before letting everyone back in. Or maybe the blaze, like by the time the fire trucks got there, the blaze was small enough for them to handle.
Mm-hmm.
Or it was near Stangred Food Court. Maybe a pizza burned or something. I don't know. Hmm. Probably more than just one pizza in that case. I could imagine some. I could imagine an oven disaster, looking like a big, looking or feeling like a big fire, spread a lot of smoke and a lot of smell, but the fire would be mostly contained to the oven.
Mm-hmm.
At which point, if they don't unplug the oven or close it, then if it's one of those open ovens where you put the raw pizza on one side and it comes out cooked on the other side,
Mm-hmm.
so it wouldn't be able to close. Yeah, I could see it seeming like a bigger problem than it is, although it would cause smoke and smell. I wonder if it'll be in the news.
Hmm. Gosh, it reminds me of a high school cooking class.
Mm-hmm.
Some of these kids just did not know how to cook, and this was at the time where I was finally given, like, kitchen duties, more or less because I was the first one heading home.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And, these people were learning how to cook spaghetti, and I'm like, okay, that's easy.
Yeah.
And, oh my gosh, these kids didn't even know how to break spaghetti.
They. Oh, okay. Here. Yeah, I was thinking you were going to tell me they put the spaghetti in the pot without water or something.
No, 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 no. So what they did was when they broke it in half,
Mm-hmm.
the spaghetti noodles,
Yeah.
they broke it upward.
Oh.
So
So right into the eyes, right?
it flew up. I'm like, so my first instinct was like, no, 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 what are you doing?
My instructor said nothing major really, so not sure it'll make the news. But I did my broadcast due diligence and called the City News newsroom. All right.
Nice.
No news is bad news, or is that how that goes? Is that how you use that saying?
I don't think so.
Meant to say broadcast news. Yes, yeah. Broadcast news due diligence and called the City News newsroom. Okay, here's a kind of a difficulty in working with vectors is that they're kind of difficult to erase properly.
Mm-hmm.
Since it works with nodes, you're erasing the nodes directly.
Mm-hmm.
Although with fewer nodes to work with when you begin working with them, with vectors, if you want to shorten a line, you would just take the node at the end and move it inward.
Mm-hmm.
So the whole workflow changes. I guess that's the difficulty in making a vector art program for people who've worked in raster all this time. But yeah, it should make animating easier and smoother if you've got automatic in-betweening going on.
Cheat
Right, so
mode activate.
I don't blame you. It's convenient and it works especially for cartoons.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't even know if when people who are going for the realistic look will do the thing where like our two arms aren't exactly the same length. One of them is longer than the other, and that the case for most of our symmetry is that there's a little bit of imperfections from the left and right.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm trying to think of like when a game developer would do that for their model and why it would be important. To me, it feels like an extra, like especially in today's game development, professional game dev marketplace, it sounds like it would be an extra $1 million job
Mm-hmm.
to make sure that the imperfections, the right left imperfections on a character model, exist, exist and are consistent, rather than just making the model mirror symmetrized. Vectors are really good for rotating stuff, though.
Mm-hmm.
That in my time working with GIMP and rotating raster graphics over and over, and they just get more and more blurry, even if you're rotating a circle. Yeah, vector graphics have been a boon for that. Gunstar is going into his hockey puck or curling stone formation,
Aww.
all curled up.
Oop.
Preparing for his big evening after dinner rest. Being all full of fish is exhausting on a cat.
Yep, and sleeping all day. Oh, those poor cats. They deal with so much.
Yep. Being a fuzzball is an exhausting job.
Yep, but someone has to do it.
So yeah, while Henchy, if Henchy changes his mask while he's painting, he'll probably just wave the paintbrush in front of his mask to change it.
Mm-hmm. I think for the case of this, we could just say it's a very expensive mask that changes simple
Oh yeah.
expressions.
Yeah, yeah.
So that way it's a simple, like,
Something like those
transitionless.
electronic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or like the mask of that one guy in Astral Chain.
Mm-hmm.
I think his name was Kyle. But yeah, they when you get to the center of the slums, where they're selling that the blue recharge.
Yeah.
Or no, wait. Yeah, blue recharge, because the citizens were red shifting.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm gonna plug these into Pencil 2D with all three frames and see how it
Okay.
goes.
Yeah, I have been. I don't know if I mentioned this yet, but yeah, I've been learning how to do the 2D animation state machine in Godot, so that will help with transitioning from one animation to the next as the game situation changes.
Mm-hmm.
It should move this move palette stack a little bit closer to being the wacky, cartoony fun that you'll see in games like Panel de Pon and Puzzle Fighter, Super Puzzle Fighter.
This is definitely not 24 frames a second.
You can set the frame rate in Pencil 2D. You can set the frame rate at the bottom there.
Yep. Maybe 4 frames. Oh, that last frame just doesn't. It's almost there.
Oh yeah, use the greater than and less than keys, or comma and period, to move forward and back in the frames. Are you sharing Pencil 2D or are you still sharing Clip Studio?
I'm still sharing Clip Studio. Hold on.
Okay.
Let's do window capture. There we go.
Aha.
That last one, the color is off, but I can fix that.
Hmm. How?
I think I just chose the wrong color.
Oh, okay.
And that
I'm
second one, that in between that neck hanging, like,
Yeah, I see. Yeah, the back of the cloth from the back of the head hanging off there.
yeah. But everything else looks okay, right?
Yeah. Like I'm not even noticing the color anomaly.
I am.
All right. Yeah.
But I do like how it goes from the last one. It kind of. Now I need to do the shoes more on the other two, but I do almost like. Well, I do kind of like how it has more detail in the last one. Like he's kind of also moving his knees a little. Like, eh.
Yeah. Yeah, I try to avoid as much as possible. I try to avoid copy pasting one frame to another when I'm going for that flip book look.
Mm-hmm.
But in vectors, if you want something to stay still, then it's pretty much necessary because yeah, vectors tend to be very smooth as they transition from one pose to another.
Yeah. I think this will work. Just obviously change that one.
Yeah.
Change the belt color on the masks on frames 1 and 2,
Hmm.
and then change that little overhang on the second frame.
Oh, the mask belt. Okay, I see. That's okay. You weren't talking about the green.
You know,
Okay. See here, I thought the suit changed color or something, but yeah. Okay. The mask belt I noticed. Yeah.
little details.
Hmm. Yeah. For me, I'm because I'm so absent-minded when I do even a simple stick figure animation. I have to do it piece by piece to make sure each individual piece is consistent.
Yeah. Let me for a second.
Which ends up with me having a pencil 2D animation that is like 20 layers tall.
Mm-hmm. While I'm here, because why not?
Kid. Turns out it's too warm here for him to curl up, so now he's sort of pancaked out,
Mm-hmm.
flattened out into a big old pancake.
Might as well show this off too while I'm here. Wait,
Hmm.
this animation. Tried to
Yeah.
make it as rubbery as I could with the feet. If you can kind of see.
Yeah. Like you can really see the squash and stretch going on
Mm-hmm.
while it's playing slowly like this.
And then ramp it up to, say, 24. Why not?
Stop and play to yeah, there we go. Scooby-Doo kind of adventures.
Yeah. Anyway. I figured since they're silhouettes, I can kind of get away with doing a little bit more.
Hmm. Oh, I remember when like me and a friend of mine would play Mario Paint back when that was new, and he would do a running animation by doing a single pose of like basically this kind of henchy type of character, and he'd have one leg forward and one leg back, and he'd have a single line to distinguish which leg was forward and which one was back, and he'd switch that. So you'd use that same pose. It looked like the character was almost standing still, except one line that determined which leg was front and back would change over.
Hmm.
It was like you can kind of get what he was going by trying to do a running animation, but at the same time, it looked like just the absolute laziest running animation possible.
Hmm.
Like I don't think I've ever seen anyone do that since then. To do that kind of running animation since then.
Okay, so that neck hang is going to get fixed.
Mm-hmm. So you got the vectors, vector editing. Yeah.
We got a neck hang.
We have only streamlined skulls here.
Yeah. I've played some of the DLC for Outer Worlds,
Mm-hmm.
and oh my gosh, I thought Rizzo's was actually one of the saner companies. But I mean, they only produce candy. No, frog. Oh, candy
Frog?
and vodka. No, wrong. They're probably just as bad, if not worse. It's not really a spoiler, but they have mind control slugs that make everyone super creepy happy.
Oh,
Like, force smile happy. Like,
like Joker.
yeah.
The Joker's laughing gas kind of stuff.
And the more that the longer that they have it, or something like that, like they become violent over time. And
Oh
it's
wow.
kind of funny. They're like, they're attacking you and going, I just want to be your friend. Oh, oh no.
I'm getting flashbacks to the Meet the Pyro Team Fortress 2 trailer.
Oh yeah. I can't say me loving about it. Yeah.
Yeah. With the rainbows and the lollipops.
Meanwhile, he's just obliterating everyone.
Yeah. And the flamethrower, he sees it as a like a bubble thrower.
Or
A
no, it was
bubble.
the song "Do You Believe in Magic?" That's it.
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
It was one like very happy-go-lucky kind of song.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I just love how even the spy's like, who knows what torment this character is seeing.
Yeah, yeah. And you never really and in the game, all the voice lines are so muffled you can't really tell what they're saying.
Like I barely touched Team Fortress 2, but I
Mm-hmm.
have it. Just well, saying I
Yeah.
have Fortress 2, really not
I
saying
had
much.
it. Yeah, I had it when the orange box was bought for me, and that was the game that I played the most.
Mm.
Um, I played. I think I started as the scout, and then I changed over to the engineer, and yeah, I played roughly 1,500 hours as the engineer.
I like the engineer story on the ads for Team Fortress 2.
Yeah, the meet the engineer bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got like I don't know. I guess I'm not particularly accurate with a mouse for aiming,
Hmm.
so I just like that I can build a turret to do all the aiming and shooting for me.
Yeah.
All I have to do is repair and like figure out where to put down dispensers and stuff. So yeah, it turns into like my favorite thing to do in that game was on the standard 2 fort capture the intelligence type of mission is if I could get far enough into the enemy base, I would set an in teleport at their intel and an out teleport at ours. So then, yeah, anyone who gets there captures the intel, immediately teleports back to our base and scores the point. And like the funny thing is, in all my time playing that game, rarely, now I want to say never even, has any enemy like actually guarded their intelligence. They're out there trying to fight people. So if I put a teleport, if I put any machine inside their base where the intelligence is, they'll never know. They'll never know unless they actually follow someone back all the way back to the intelligence. Whereas in most cases, if someone gets back that far, they're gonna try and catch them on the way out. I think the normal way you're supposed to play engineer is put an in teleport in your base somewhere, and then an out teleport as far forward as you can get. Mm-hmm. And then enemies will find that out teleport and destroy it. And then you'll just, I mean, ideally you'll push forward, and that out teleport will get closer and closer to their intelligence. And then once they get the intelligence, they run it back. But yeah, you can't put, I guess with two engineers, you might be able to do a two-way thing. But yeah, I don't know how the rules have changed. I kind of stopped playing when they started introducing like variants on your weapons. So like you could have your standard, I don't know, repair wrench, but this one repairs faster and deals less damage in combat or something like that. Mm-hmm. Or they added the scout has a soda that he can drink. They could swap it out for some other drink, like I think there's milk or something, which gives him more combat power, but doesn't give him the speed. And they gave the heavy can eat a sandwich to restore his health, or a chocolate bar to increase his speed, that kind of thing.
Right.
That was delicious.
I think the one thing I could say about Team Fortress 2, even if you don't play the games, the characters alone sell the game.
Yeah. Everyone has, like, I want to say Team Fortress 2 was the start of the, I think they call it the hero shooter genre, where, like, every character has a very pronounced personality. And yeah, that becomes the selling point of the game. And then, yeah, Paladins and Overwatch were the like second round of that, and now we've got Apex Legends. And I don't know, I wanted to get into Apex Legends, but like the characters that they have there all seem kind of unlikable. Like I joined in at, I want to say season 7 or 8 or something, and it starts with a guy like debating on whether he should cut his arm off, and I'm like, why should I even care? I barely know these characters. And this kind of feels like a crap sack world that you plunked me into here. What are they fighting about? And like, I don't know, jumping in the middle of the story.
Nothing's wrong with a world like that, except unless if said world is just, doesn't give you a reason to like it.
Yeah.
At least Outer Worlds, you could say, oh yeah, it's a terrible world, but there's some people trying to fix it.
Yeah.
And some of it's just shock value, honestly.
Yeah. And like there's a lot of humor in there.
Yeah.
And I guess that's probably what was missing in Apex Legend when at least when I tried to get into it, is there's no humor, there's no like charm. Everyone is just, I don't know, they're fighting for something, I don't know what. And the game doesn't make me care about whatever's going on there. Whereas Team Fortress 2, you're fighting for like some practically nameless red and blue company. For all we know, the person who oversees said company is maybe the owner of both. Like we never find that out. But there's so much to speculate on there, at least, and the characters, even outside of the situation they're in, they have personalities. They have like. Well, yeah, it's pretty much the entire thing, that their personalities sell the game, just as you said. Their catchphrases and all.
Right.
bonk. Sniping's a good job, mate. It's all just it's very quotable.
Hmm.
It's probably because they started with like stereotypes and accents, and like I guess it's got a little bit of that punch out appeal, and that like the accents aren't uh they don't do the accents disparagingly.
Right.
Like Punch Out Arcade did the played into like the stereotypes in disparaging ways, and like Soda Popinski was actually called Vodka Drunkensky.
Ooh.
But yeah, like later on they for Punch Out Wii, and I want to say even Super Punch Out, like wherever they had a stereotype, they did it in more of a like a fun way that isn't punching down.
Hmm.
Like they pay homage to the cultures that these stereotypes are from.
Hmm. Like, there's got to be some nuance here.
Hmm. I really like how Trevor Noah does accent humor because like he understands. Um, for the longest time, whenever he showed up on my YouTube feed, it was always accent humor, and he's from South Africa, and somehow he just does all of the accents. He does the French accent, he does the German accent, he does the British accent, the American accent. He does them all like just slides into and out of them so smoothly as he's doing his comedy.
Hmm.
And even other South African accents when he's talking about like the people going like, Trevor, don't lose your accent.
Hmm.
I was like, lose my accent? How could I lose my accent? But yeah, I was kind of afraid for a while because like I want to say in the mid or in the earlier mid 2010s, people go like, you can't do accent humor, it's racist. But like if you're punching down, then yeah, accent humor is gonna seem racist.
Yeah.
But there's ways to do it without seeming racist.
Nuance.
Yeah, like me and my sister, we've made fun of our parents by mimicking their accents like lots of times, and it's not because like we didn't know what the racist version of that accent humor was.
Hmm.
We were just talking to them like accents, whether humor or otherwise, is just talking in your language with the rules of someone else's.
There's some
And
nuance.
yeah, and if you do it right, then like there's no insult to be had there.
Right. But if you're saying stuff like, oh, all people from this place are just stupid drugs, and, well, of
Yeah.
course.
Or if like the only thing you say, the only thing you know in that other language is like their one stereotype food.
Yeah.
It's like
Or
either the food
always
or
aggressive.
yeah, like there's a specific way to be offensive in someone else's accent.
Right.
And yeah, like really, there's only one joke. Like if you're trying to joke and be offensive in someone's accent, you've really only got one joke.
Right. And those are the people who are like, no one can be funny anymore. And it's like,
Yeah, can't tell jokes anymore.
right. And I'm sorry, that is the laziest excuse in my opinion.
Hmm.
Because humor is ever changing, it's ever
Yeah,
subjective. Because, yeah,
the response to
things age, but
yeah
that's life. People
the
evolve,
response to you can't tell jokes anymore is find some new jokes, get some new material.
right?
Yeah,
Because
and yeah, just
you
as you
can
said,
make
things are
jokes
changing.
without, being mean to people. Just try
Hmm.
punching up rather than punching
Hmm.
down.
Yeah, and that's what I'd like to think I'm doing with my writing. Like, at least I'd like if I'm ever punching down, I'm hoping someone who sees the work
Like, if,
can tell me so.
if it's punching down, it's self deprecation humor at best.
Mm.
It's like, it's a rainy day, and then I just slip on a banana peel.
Yeah, and that's okay. Someone who portrays themselves in a game as like a bumbling, clumsy, unlikable character, that can be kind of funny.
Right.
Like The only time I can't is probably when it's misread as someone by stereotyping them or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I guess it's a risk.
Right.
But yeah, you could then if someone interprets it the wrong way, you could say actually this is an XP of the creator. He's clowning on himself. Oh, creator of Kodomo no Omasha did this. She portrayed herself in the I want to say the 100th episode. They did like a quiz show, and all she ever said and all she ever answered was "Obana this," which is like I'm Obana. That was her answer to all the questions. And so, of course, she got the least points.
There's gonna be a picture of Hinchy with a Bob Ross wig.
Yeah.
There's gonna be. Now,
Happy little clouds.
now, if you take some yellow ochre and some sienna brown, and then just dab it here on the canvas, just like so. Take some titanium white. There you go. You got little bark showing.
There's two painting shows that I need to drawing shows that I need to catch up on. One was called Secret City, and the other was the Bob Ross stuff.
There's a Bob Ross YouTube channel, by the way.
Okay. But yeah, Secret City was it was a weird little show. Like I don't remember exactly how it got onto my TV, but I managed to catch it right at the beginning. And they showed you how to draw a 3-point perspective cube. And like I really wanted to follow the show and draw along with them. But the next time I managed to catch the show, they had half the city built already.
Oh my goodness.
So I don't know if they just showed the episodes out of order, or if I actually missed like 20 episodes on the way, but I wasn't able to follow it.
I would recommend, well, at least for backgrounds, Bob Ross.
Okay.
It would be, well, it's fun just seeing what he does. It's all simplistic stuff.
Okay. Is it similar to your paintings?
Pretty similar. My great grandma got me into that, and she's like, I'm not too keen on his style, but it's good to learn for learning and all this and that. So
Okay.
she got me into learning with that style too. Like, I think her thing was that she likes to take her time. Well, she liked to take her time and all that. And
Okay.
obviously, that's time crunch for like 30 minutes.
Hmm. So Bob Ross taught you how to work fast, kinda.
Sort of. But you can only work so fast with oils because
Yeah.
oils take forever to dry, and if it's
Hmm.
raining, it takes even more forever.
I wonder if they dry faster around here, where the air is less humid.
Oh, no doubt. Because the more arid the air, the less time it takes to dry. But
Yeah.
the one thing about oils is that you need somewhere to air it.
Okay.
Because
So you need
it
a well ventilated working space.
stinks, and you have to be used to that smell.
Hmm. I'm trying to remember whether the art labs at my schools were whether we used oil paints or like I mean I was gonna say or the cheap stuff, but I'm pretty sure if there are cheap oil paints, then that would be that would be what we used.
I mean, cheap oils do exist.
Yeah.
I've gotten cheap oils.
Do they stink worse?
I mean, they work about the same. I think it's more the blending. As you can tell, I do hands really well. But it's okay. We'll cover it up with a canvas.
I
A happy little
mean,
canvas.
you can definitely do them better than I can. My work with hands is basically as good as stick figures.
Hands are such a pain for me. A
Mm.
lot of people have trouble with eyes. I don't have trouble with eyes. I have trouble with hands. Eyes don't bother me one bit in the slightest.
I'm just hoping I can compensate by rotoscoping from my work in Blender 3D. But first, before I can do that, I'm gonna have to learn how to rig and pose, how to rig and pose for games specifically. Because if I look up any old rig and pose tutorial, like if I do a rig and pose for general purpose or for 2D posing, then I might have something that is inefficient for games.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the rigs that I've seen, like when I download other people's work, like asset packs and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
they have so many widgets covering the body that it is even more confusing than seeing a body without widgets, without a rig.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's probably best if I learn how to rig from scratch myself.
I think I might do a thing where he's just kind of swaying his hips back and forth while he's painting. He's like, just having a grand old time.
Yeah, just cruising.
Yeah. And then when they throw the money, he's just like, huh? Ah! And
Yeah,
then just,
just the tiniest little flinch.
and then, well, if they go aggressive, he might just jump up and down, left and
Yeah,
right, trying to avoid what they're throwing.
yeah.
'Cause I think I'm just more or less drawing around here, so
Hmm.
that way this part probably won't be seen by people because
Hmm.
canvas.
Yeah, you'll mostly see the back of the paintbrush sort of moving around, wiggling
Mm-hmm.
as he paints.
Honestly, I think I could just cover the rest of this up by a palette. Why create more points if I don't need them?
Hmm. Got our standard blobs. Oh, right. I should have been working on the wiki this whole time. Let me open that up. Open that page up here. Doot. And I am signed in and I can edit. Welcome to site name.
Welcome
We
to.
just got our application to Mirahez approved. Welcome to the palette stack. So I'll just make a change just to show that we've made a change. And let's see. Main page, recent random page, help about media wiki. Then add a page, or do I link? Check out any page below for more info. So show preview. Okay, that doesn't. Oh, does it? Ah, it does. Okay. So then if I save these changes and then click on that, can I create the page? I can create it. Okay. Henchi. Create Henchi. Henchi is the employee of Byron and Selma Stonk. And put little square brackets around those so they get their own pages. He is the one doing the painting whenever you see either. Whenever Byron or Selma is selected as an opponent. Always wears a bright green Zentai. Actually, no, that's probably copyrighted. Bright green full body suit,
Yep.
mask. What was that?
Just me doodling. More or less doodling at this point.
Well, let's see. I could probably fill this out later. So, is this about all we'll do for today?
Yeah.
Alrighty. Bottle. Hydrate. Darn it.
Hydrate, Dardo. There we go. No one's still in that interledger. That
Trademark.
Alright. Thank y'all for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe. And please be sure to stay tuned. I'd like to do more of these. And please be sure to be subscribe to Cumulative's channel as well. I should have it in the link description down below. Yes, I do. Well, wait, not to his page, but it's on the little link on YouTube. He does some game dev videos, some gaming videos, gaming streams, and sometimes some coding videos as well. So, thank y'all, and goodbye.
Bye.